I've been hearing a lot about our national debt and trillions of dollars. So I wondered, what does $1 trillion look like? Well, I don't have $1 trillion, so I just did the math. A dollar bill is 43 ten-thousandths of an inch thick. So how many dollars would there be in a 1-inch stack? Well, 1 divided by 43 ten-thousandths is 233. Check it out. There's 100, 200, and $33. Squish that down, and you've got an inch. So how high would this stack go if I had $1 trillion? Well, I'll show you. The circumference of the Earth at the equator measures nearly 25,000 miles. If I had $1 trillion squished together, I could run that stack completely around the world. Not just once, not twice, but 2.7 times. You want to know what it feels like? How heavy is $1 trillion? Well, let's weigh in on that. Each dollar bill weighs 1 gram. Now there are 454 grams in a U.S. pound. Therefore, there are $454 in 1 pound. So here we go. Here's 100, 200, 300, 400, and $54. Mine appears to be a little light. Maybe George has lost some weight. Anyway, $454. So how heavy would this stack be if I had $1 trillion? Well, an African elephant, according to people who measure elephants, weighs 4.6 tons. Now that's a big boy, 9,200 pounds. So, how many African elephants would I have to stack in order to equal the weight of $1 trillion? Are you ready for this? 239,418 elephants. But heck, this is only $1 trillion. Our national debt is over 14 times that. $14 trillion. And let me tell you why I think that's so scary. Because it turns out that our national debt of $14 trillion also equals our gross domestic product, $14 trillion. This is the amount of revenue we take in our nation every year. Now this is macroeconomics, so let's bring this down to earth where we can relate to it. Say you're an American family, mom, dad, 1.7 kids, a little dog named Spot, and you earn $100,000 a year in revenue. That's your gross domestic product. Good for you. But let's say you are just like Congress. You are so foolish and selfish and arrogant and self-absorbed and irresponsible that you also allow yourself to accumulate $100,000 in credit card debt. You are going to be crushed under this debt. So what do? You wise up. You say, hey, no more. I can't afford this. I'm going to tear up my credit cards and I'm going to pay this debt off. Great. How are you going to do it? You can't take all of your revenue in 1 year and pay off your credit card debt. You'd be left with no operating capital. You couldn't pay your mortgage, your utilities, your rent, or put food on the table, whatever. So what do? You say, well, I'm just going to take a little bit at a time, okay, and pay this debt off. As a matter of fact, you choose to use your payment as the minimum that the credit card company allows. Well, great. You're going to wind up paying over $250,000 on your $100,000 debt. And you're going to pay it off in 60 years. 60 years. That's 3 generations. So not only have you put yourself in debt, you've passed this debt on to your children and to your children's children. That's right. Babies born in America today, the doctor welcomes them into the world, grabs them by the ankle, spanks them on the bottom to get them kick-started, then he flips them over and stamps IOU right on their forehead. Well, maybe not that hard, IOU. But the IOU is there nevertheless. They don't have a chance. $14 trillion. You want to know what $14 trillion looks like? I'll show you. 100, 200, 300, 400. This could take a while, so I'll just tell you. The moon is 240,000 miles from Earth. Now you're getting ahead of me, but that's right. If I stacked $14 trillion, that stack would go from the Earth all the way to the moon. Oh, and back down to the Earth, and back up to the moon, and back down to the Earth. 4 stacks, $14 trillion to the Earth and the moon. Unbelievable. Now I think Congress has a plan to kind of shrink this stack size down a little bit. I think that what they're going to do is they're going to take a rope and they're going to lasso the moon and they're going to pull the moon down closer to the Earth. And as the moon gets closer to the Earth, it's going to push this stack down, shrinking the size, thereby reducing our debt. Hey, it's been done before.
What is it you want, Barry? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Hey, that's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, Barry.
I'll take it. Then what?
Exactly, Mary. Then what? Look, this is serious. If you don't know how devastating it is to a country when they suffer economic collapse, you might want to do some homework. Start with Germany, post-World War I. That country was ripe for the picking. Who knows, maybe some guy named Adolf will just come waltzing in here and take over, if he hasn't already. The future is now, America, and we have to act. Congress cannot fix this on their own. We have to do it. It may start with Congress. So, my weapon of choice, I call it my weapon of mass construction. It's your mouse. Click on it, and in no time, you'll be talking to your representatives from Congress and the White House. Let them know how you feel. Let them know that we're tearing up their credit cards. Let them know that it is time to bring America and put it back in the hands of Americans. Use your voice. Vote. Remain vigilant. And I'm confident that we'll be victorious in doing just that, bringing America back to Americans. Thanks for listening. You have a nice day. Let me see, where was I? Dear Senator.